Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome to everyone who's with us in our sanctuary, still at a distance, but feeling a little closer. And those who are with us from all around the world and the country, creating the space to invite in Shabbat and the potential for light and love, harmony and song, and a little bit of rest and restoration. We begin with Yedid Nefesh on page 10 or page 252. Yedid Nefesh Av Rachaman Mishah L'chun Ranana. Let us go out and sing to God. I think everyone is in need of raising their voice and calling out and being a part of also a collective sense of voice, whether we're in the room together or across the ether together. We can hopefully raise our voices to call out to God and to one another. L'chun Ranana, page 11 or page 254.
L'chun Ranana Arba'im Shana
Page 13 or 254. Shiru l'Adonai, shir chadash, shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz, shiru l'Adonai baruch shemo, ba'asu me'oyom yeshuato, tzapru l'goyim kevodo, bechol ha'amim nivleotav, Gadol Adonai u'mehulav me'od, Norah kol Elohim, kol Elohei ha'amim edinim, v'ha'adon hashamayim v'azvaot ve'avan ve'efanav otzat tiferet ve'mikdasho, Havul Adonai mishpachot damim, Havul Adonai kavod ba'oz, Havul Adonai kevod shemo, zeu mincha u'olech hatzotah, Ishtachavu l'Adonai be'adat kodesh, Himnu mipanav kol ha'aretz, Himnu b'goyim Adonai malach, Haftikot v'haftimot, Yadinamim ve'shayim, Yitzmechu hashamayim v'tayel ha'aretz, Yiramayahu Elo, Ya'alon tzadai v'kol asher bo, Azirenu kol ha'knei לפני אדוני כי בא לשפוט הארץ, ישפוטי ובצדק, בעמים ובאמונתו תדם ברינה Adonai malach tagel haaretz yismechuim rabim anan rafel svivat tzedek u'mishpat mechon kiso, ish lefanam telech beto. The fourth line on page 16 or page 256.
Shamavati Ismail Vatagana Benot Yehuda Leman Mishpatecha Adonai Yat Adonai HaKol Haaretz Me'od Na'aleita Kol Elohim
Ohavei Adonai Sinora Shomer Nafshot Chasidam Yad Rishayim Yatzilem
וזרוע לצדיק ישלח שמחה, שמחות צדיקים באדוני, ועודו לזכר קודשו.
Page 17 מזמור שיר לאדוני שיר חדש כי ניתנות עשה שלו ימינו זרוע קודשו זכר חסדו ואמונתו לבית ישראל הריעו לאדוני כל הארץ בצחורנו Yiram hayamum lo tevel veyosh veyira narotim chauchaf yachad arim yiraneinu
לפני אדוני כי בא לשפוט הארץ, לשפוט הארץ, בצדק עמים במישרים.
Page 19 or page 258 Adonai v'tzion gadol ramuah
מושב ירון בכהנה ושמואל בכל שמו קריב אל אדוני בהויעני
Me'amon hanan yidaber aleihem shamru edotam v'chof natan la'amo
Adonai Eloheinu אתה נהיית ונותנת להם אלוקים על עלילותם אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו לקודשו כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו.
Please rise if you're able, page 21 or page 260. Mizmor David. Halon Adonai b'nei Elohim. Havol Adonai kavod ba'ol.
Havol Adonai כבוד שמו ישכח havol Adonai ועד הקודש כל אדוני
Shabbat Shalom. You can be seated. I suppose, like many of you, growing up, we thought conflict was bad. When parents, if we were lucky enough to have two parents who fought, I don't know, lucky, but it always, when that happened in my house, I got nervous. That was the response, anxious, kids in the schoolyard, obviously nations. Conflict was bad. And this week's parasha teaches us that story in spades, in many ways, because Korach has a conflict or a controversy that is considered lo l'shem shamayim, not for the sake of heaven. And we learn that from Pirkei Avot, and obviously we learn that because his tribe, his congregation is swallowed up by the earth, so he didn't win that one, clearly. But Pirkei Avot in the Mishnah says, Kol machloket hi l'shem shamayim sofa lehitkayem. Every dispute that is for the sake of heaven will in the end endure. V'she'eno l'shem shamayim ein sofa lehitkayem. But one that is not for the sake of heaven will not endure, which, of course, is the controversy that is for the sake of heaven. Such was the controversy between the house of Hillel and Shammai themselves, and which is the controversy that is not for the sake of heaven. Such was the controversy of Korach and all his congregation. Now, there are many things to be said about why the controversy, the machloket, between Hillel and Shammai is one for the sake of heaven, and the Talmud goes to extensive discussion on that. Too much to say in a little kavanah on a Friday evening, but there's a very powerful list of reasons why. And then we know that Korach doesn't win in his controversy, and one of the aspects of that, it not being for the sake of heaven, is actually included in the Mishnah itself, is because he's not in conflict with anyone in the Mishnah. It just says, such was the controversy of Korach and all his congregations. He wasn't actually in dialogue with anyone, unlike Hillel and Shammai, who were in some kind of discourse. Understanding, therefore, that his controversy was really about himself. It was an ego-driven controversy. It wasn't about being in something that was to produce a better truth. So the question is, really, what does it mean to have a machloket l'shem shamayim? What does it mean to have a conflict or a controversy for the sake of heaven? And in many ways, that idea obviously is understood to be for God's sake, not for our own sake. That it's not about me winning or you losing, but it's about searching out for something that is a higher purpose or for God's sake. And more often than not, that's understood to be a pursuit of truth. That I have my truth and you have your truth, but when we're in discourse, we might find a greater truth, because there's often, we think our truth is better, and we're living in a world of deep polarization that it's very hard to imagine that there's someone else who might have a valid truth. So that's one understanding of what l'shem shamayim means here, for the sake of heaven. But many years ago, when I was in school in Los Angeles and I took a class with Rabbi Dr. Bill Cutter, we studied the teachings of Rabbi Nachman of Bratslav, and one of the teachings that we studied had probably one of the texts that had the most profound influence on my life at the time, and it stuck with me until this day, and at this point, that's been more than half my life ago. So he taught this teaching about what machloket was, and this is what Nachman says. Know this, that disagreement, machloket, is analogous to the creation of the world, which consisted of creating an empty space. For were it not so, everything would be infinitely divine, and there would be no space left for the world. This is based on the notion that God had to contract God's self in order to make space in between for creation to actually come into being. It's the notion of tzimtzum, of retraction. Therefore, God contracted the light, which was God's light, to the sides, each in its chelek, which means parts, which is the root of machloket, which is different parts. Each of the sides, and an empty space was left in the middle in which the world would be created, with all its time and spatial dimension, all done by the act of speech of God. By the word of God were the heavens made. So you can imagine this world that was filled with all light, and these pieces of light were pulled each to their sides in order to create an empty space in the universe so that God could make creation come into being with the word. By the word, God made the heavens. And then Nachman says, so too is the case with disagreement. For if all the scholars were united, there would be no creation of the world. If we all agreed, I'll put all of us as scholars. In this case, he was talking about the rabbis, but in many ways, I think this is a teaching of Jewish life in general, the tradition in general. If there was all agreement and all unity, there would be no creation of the world. It is only when there is machloket, disagreement between men, and they divide, and each draws to one side, a space is created between them which is analogous to the empty space and the contraction of the lights, by which the world itself was created by the act of speech. And all the arguments that each use are only in order to allow the world to be created by them, which is a really powerful notion about what machloket, what disagreement is, and what it means that is machloket l'shem shamayim. A machloket l'shem shamayim, for the sake of heaven, is a disagreement that allows a birthing, that allows the space to build something new, to create. We are, by engaging in machloket, by engaging in disagreement, conflict for the sake of heaven, engaging in a conversation that creates just like God did at the beginning of the world. We are not living in a time that idea is widely utilized. In fact, most conflicts are just about putting the other side down. And many of us, as I was as a young person, and still I am today at various moments, are afraid of conflict. We don't want to have to engage. We would rather either win or leave. But this idea, which is such a profound one, recognizes that the world was built with my truth and your truth and your truth to create something that hasn't been imagined before. And it needs you and me and that person who's not in this space that we have yet to bring in. Their light, your light and mine, and his light and their light. And on Shabbat, this month of Pride, of course, the voices of LGBTQAI+ folks, and folks of color, and Jews and non-Jews, and Palestinians and Israelis, all to have a light that is there to create something in the empty space and in between. And this is at the essence of creation, according to our masters, but also at the creation of our tradition, which is what our scholars did, which is they never erased a minority opinion, and they always were in discourse. That the very act of being in conversation and discourse is creation, is birthing, which is how it is for the sake of heaven. So I'm just going to share one personal note on this week, which I was honored to be appointed the senior rabbi, along with Roli, who's the senior rabbi, and Rosh Kehillah. That it wasn't, it was probably a year later that I came to New York after learning this text with Bill Cutter, and came to BJ as the part-time family and youth director 25 years ago. And I continued my studies and finished the rabbinical school, and have been at BJ for all these years. And part of what I love so deeply, and what drew me to this place when I initially just sat in the balcony in services, was that it embodied this notion of machloket l'shem shamayim. That it was in a discourse, whether that was who was on the bima, or who was in the community, or even our conversation and partnership with the Church of St. Paul and St. Andrew, that it was a community that wasn't only interested in one version of the story, but inviting other lights in and being in an ongoing conversation for these 25 years has been one of the greatest gifts of my life. And what keeps me here, and I think what keeps a lot of us, is that it's a sofa lehitkayem. It's an ongoing machloket l'shem shamayim that doesn't end. And so I pray that we have the strength to recognize that we have our own light, and that we will not always disagree. We will not always agree. We will not always agree. But at the essence of creation, at the essence of community, at the essence of conflict even, is the possibility to birth a world. And our world needs some kind of birthing. And I pray that we will be able to endure in a controversy for the sake of heaven, and not be afraid to lean in to others' life and light in the way that these past 25 years have been for me here. B'chadodi, page 23, or page 262. Everyone to take a deep breath. Kind of cherish the sweetness of welcoming in, of expanding the heart and the soul, to leave some empty space, to let Shabbat arrive not only on the outside, but on the inside. You may be seated. Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat is on page 27 or page 266. We're going to join together after davening in the middle for Magadlu. Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat Le'agid b'boker chasecha Hallelujah.
עדותך נהנו מיום להביתך נבע קודש אדוני להחיים.
We continue with Baruch Hu on page 39a. I invite you to rise if you're able to do so.
את אדוני המבורך אדוני יבורך לעולם ועד.
חצה אדוני אבינו מלך העולם אשר ממרום הרים והרבים בחוכמה פותח שרים.
ומעביר יום ומביא לילה ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה אדוני צבאות שמו אל חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני המעריב הרבים
אהבת עולמי ישראל עמך אבטחת תורה מצוות צורים ומשפטים אותם מלמדת כן אדוני אלוהינו בשם כי הם חיינו יאברך ימינו ובהם נגע יומם ולילה ואהבתך אל תשים ממנו לעולמים ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל.
ושיננתם בניך ודיברת בם בשבתך ובביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם מאוד על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך
Sometimes it's super. ויאמר אדוני משה לאמור דבר אל בני ישראל.
We turn to page 44, Malchuto, top of the page.
Malchuto beratzon kiblu alehem Moshe
There
ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
Hashkivenu, we pray for peace on page 45 or page 292.
השכיבנו אדוני
השכיבנו,
ואבינו לשלום בעמידנו מלכינו לחיים ופרסננו סוכת שלומך ותקננו בעצת שלום וצר כנפיך תשימנו
ושמור צאתנו ובואנו לחיים ולשלום מעתה ועד עולם
ופרוס עלינו
ברוך אתה אדוני הבורא סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ועל ירושלים
ושמנו בני לעשות את השבת לדורות הברית עולם ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם אותי לעולם אישת ימי עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ השני וביום השני שב וינפש.
ויתקדש שמי רבה בעמד יברח קרתה והמליך מלכותה
מחייך אורוך יומך ובחיית כל בית ישראל בעגלה ובזמן קריב במהרו אמן יש מרבה וברך לעולם ועלמיה יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתעלה שמי קדושה בריחו לעילה מכל ברכתה ושירתה זו שפחתה ונחמתה תאמיר בעלמה במהרו אמן.
Continue with the silent Amidah, page 296 or page 47. Continue with Bayachulu on page 53 in the Lev Shalom.
ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם והחלויים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה וישפוט ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו כי הוא שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו אלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו אלוהי אברהם אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב אלוהי שרה אלוהי רבקה אלוהי רחל אלוהי לאה האל הגדול הגיבור והנורא העליון קונה שמיים וארץ
מגן אבות בדברו מחיי מתים במאמרו האל הקדוש שאין כמוהו
המניח לעמו ביום שבת קודשו כי בם רצה להניח להם
לפניו לא ירא בפחד ונודה לשמו בכל יום תמיד
מעון הברכות אלוהות אדון השלום מקדש השבת ומברך שביעי
ומניח בקדושה לעמד ושני עונג זכר למעשה בראשית
אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו רצה ומנוחתנו קדשנו מצוותיך ותן חלקנו בתורתך סבנו מטובך ושמח נפשנו בישועתך וטהר ליבנו לעובדך באמת והנחילנו אדוני אלוהינו באהבה ורצון שבת קודשך וינוחו וישראל מקדשי שמך ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
Continue with Kaddish Shalom, page 316 in the Sim Shalom, or 54.
יתקדש ויתקדש מרבה בהמה תברכי במלך מלכותי וחייכוני ומחונכי תחו בית ישראל בגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו
אמן יש מרבה מברך העלמה והמיה יתברך וישתבח ויפאר ותרומה מנעשה ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה שמי דקדושה לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תשבחתה ונחמתה תאמירם בעלמה ואמרו
אמן תתקבל תודות נכו ישראל קדמה משמיים ואמרו
אמן יהי שלום רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו
אמן
עושה שלום רבה ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו
We continue with the Kiddush for the night which you can find on page 55 or 318.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shamat kodsho me'ahava u'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh bereshit. כי הוא יום התחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת, אותנו קידשת, מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך מקדש השבת.
L'chaim.
L'chaim.
L'chaim. Continue turning to page 692, turning to a time of blessing, blessing our children, opening our hearts to blessings as we sing together Hamalach HaGoeloti.
Hamalach HaGoeloti, Hamalach HaGoeloti mikora, Yevarech et ha'ne'arim, v'karev lahem shemi. Shem avotai, Shem avotai, Avraham ve'Yitzchak, ve'yitgu la'rov, ve'yitgu la'rov, b'kev ha'aretz.
We continue page 722 or 75 with the blessing, the Birkat Kohanim, blessing our children. We're bringing them close to us, sending love to everyone around us as we say the beautiful words of this ancient blessing. Yisimcha Elohim ke'Ephraim v'chemenashe, Yisimech Elohim ke'Sara, Rivka, Rachel v'Leah. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka, Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. And we continue with Aleinu, page 56 or 320.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגואלנו ככל המונם, משתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
שמיים ויסרצו השם יקרא בשמיים ממעלה שכינתו זאת. הוא אלוהינו ואלוהינו במלכים ובסעודתו ככתוב בתורתו וידעת.
כן יקרא לך אדוני אלוהינו לקראת תוספך.
ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד.
ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Mourner's Kaddish can be found on page 58 or 324, and we invite those who are in mourning, who are with us, to stand, and if you're able to stand, joining us from wherever, and if you're on Zoom, we invite you to unmute at this time as we say Kaddish together.
Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Be'alma divrach kirtei be'amlich malchutei b'chayechon u'b'yomechon u'b'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael ba'agala v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yeshmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam ulmei olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitfa'ar v'yitramam v'yinaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemed kirsha b'richu leila min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata d'amiram be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama Rabbah min shemaya v'chaim alinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu yaseh shalom ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
It's a beautiful Shabbat. I feel that space that we opened up, the creation, even though we're not creating on Shabbat, the play of that energy of Shabbat being a special kind of creation, a non-creation creation perhaps, but Shabbat shalom. Mazal tov to many of our community members. We're excited to celebrate with you. Laura Speyer and Joseph Goodman had a baby girl, Clara Joy Goodman, and we welcome her into our community and say Mazal tov to your entire family. And we say Mazal tov to Josie Boyer and her parents Melissa Boyer Whitman, Jason Boyer, and BJ Director of Family Life and Learning, Mike Whitman, and her sisters Lily Boyer and Nessa Whitman, and on Josie becoming a bat mitzvah this Shabbat, and Sandy Brawoski and Barry Lichtenberg on the marriage of their son, Akiva Lichtenberg, to Tova, so Mazal Tov on the wedding, and Joni Brenner on being honored at Brooklyn, Queens, Long Island Region Woman of Achievement Gala. So Mazal Tov. And Karen Adler on her appointment by President Biden to the President's Commission on White House Fellowships. So Mazal Tov, and we celebrate with you. And we say Bruchim Habaim, and welcome to Rabbi Nami Kelman Ezrahi, who is visiting us from Israel. So welcome.
Who's the Dean of HUC in Jerusalem, and really also just to say that for women rabbis of many generations of women rabbis who have looked up to, Nami was the first woman ordained in Israel, and has really paved the path for so many things, school systems and HUC, and a voice of Judaism in Israel that's not either dati or chiloni, either religious or secular. And so we're really pleased to have you in the sanctuary, and with her camp friend from Ramah from all those years ago, Robin Fleischner and Teddy Mintz. Ramah, hooray.
Ramah, so sweet. What a special Shabbat to be here and to have you. Welcome, welcome. And tomorrow morning, we will continue our Shabbat celebrations at 9:30 a.m. We'll have services here and also on Zoom and on live stream. And there will also be a family service that's happening on the roof for those who would like to join. I think the sign-up already happened, but that'll be happening on the roof, and also a service that will be happening on Facebook Live. And then after we enjoy a wonderful Shabbat together, a summer Shabbat, we will conclude Shabbat at 9:20 with Aravit and Havdalah, but we don't need to think about that yet. And on Tuesday night, we continue our celebrations as we join for an evening of virtual fun and fundraising as we do our Chacha Chesed, and we are really excited to be celebrating our volunteers who have made this year possible, who have held us together in so many ways. So we invite all of you to join us for that event. That'll be on Tuesday at 7:15, and virtual again. You can find information on our website. And on Wednesday, June 16th, from 7 to 8, we'll have a conversation with Jeremy Boyerson, Queer and Jewish Representation in Media. So our rabbinic fellow, Grace Gleason, will be in this conversation, and we look forward to continuing to celebrate Pride and make sure that all voices are heard and learned together. And we are also jumping into next Shabbat.
Next Shabbat, first I didn't say earlier, but in these 25 years of being here and 20 years as an official rabbi, 22 as a rabbi. Being in a chavruta with Roli for all these years has also been the greatest gift. And next Shabbat, we've had the blessing of having Becca join our team and our chavruta really for the last, it's been almost 10 months with the baby stop in the middle, or pretty early, and feel already that we're in the chavruta of bringing your light in and creating the space to be in a really deep dialogue. And so next Shabbat, we're going to be celebrating Becca's installation as official rabbi here, although she's been rabbiing in really substantial and meaningful ways for the whole community in this very challenging year. It's an incredible gift that Becca has to be able to learn how to rabbi a community on Zoom when she had one Shabbat in person, which was her interview Shabbat. And I would say that speaks to multiple gifts that Becca has brought to the community already, and that Roli and I feel deeply blessed to have you as a part of the chavruta, and I hope you'll have as longevity as we both had and have had in so many beautiful ways. So next Shabbat, Rabbi Evan Leader, who's been Rebecca's teacher and mentor from Hebrew College, and will join us here and will give the Devar Torah, and Becca will respond, and we'll have a beautiful Shabbat of celebration. And so we invite those who are able with the space to come and sign up to be in the sanctuary if you're a member, to experience this joyous and a Shabbat not only of joy but really of gratitude for what we've experienced so far and a lot of dreams ahead. So everyone is welcome. The main of that will happen on Shabbat morning, but please sign up if you'd like to be in the sanctuary during the week.
Thank you. I look forward. Thank you. I can't wait to celebrate with lots of celebrations for us as a community this week. And with that, we want to remind you that membership season is upon us, is approaching slowly, but this year has been an incredible opportunity for us to widen our membership, to dig our roots deeper for those who have been here for a long time. And so we're beginning to approach that, and there's going to be forms for membership available starting on June 21st. Every member household in good standing will have the opportunity to attend at least one of our in-person for high holiday services. So, of course, making sure everybody is safe and staying with our COVID guidelines, but there is incentive. And really, this is about coming together as a community and being together, supporting one another. And for those who are looking for information about our membership, that's something that you can reach out to our offices during the week or find more information when it's not Shabbat on our website. So we wish you a Shabbat Shalom and look forward to another wonderful year ahead of growth for us as a community in every way that looks for us in the coming year. And with I
just want to say one other thing, which is when Nami became a rabbi, there weren't that many women rabbis. I didn't grow up with any women rabbis on the Bima, rabbis who were women. And it's not been my experience here at BJ that it happens very often that there are 3 women leading the tefillah. Deborah, of course, has been our Marshall Tumeyer Rabbinic Fellow for the last 2 years, and tomorrow we'll give her last official Devar Torah, although we'll be hearing her Torah, I'm sure, for many years to come. And of course, Becca and I was the first woman rabbi who was a woman here, and I don't think any of us take that for granted. And the gift of what it means to have a transition of generations of leadership that can be marked by an all-women leadership tefillah, which has been on the shoulders of giants like Nami and many others who have worked hard to be, I include myself amongst this, in a lot of machloket around what it means to have leadership as a woman in the Jewish community and in any community for that matter. And I think it's, there are many shechianus along the way, and this isn't the first time. We had one Friday night a couple of months ago, but I just want to acknowledge, the Nachman didn't ever imagine that scholars would include women in that conversation, and by people on the ground giving their Torah and leading services and being in roles like we have throughout this community, that changes the story. And we intend to keep it that way.
Amen.
Amen, amen.
So with that, we will welcome our Shabbat angels. We turn to page 73 or 722 for Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Asherei, Malachi Elyon, Melech Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Asherei, Malachi Elyon, Melech Malchei Amlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Asherei, Malachi Elyon, Melech Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Bolchem Shalom, Malachi Shalom,
Malachi Elyon, Melech Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Shalom, Malachi Shalom,
Malachi Elyon, Melech Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bolchem Shalom, Malachi Shalom, Malachi Elyon, Melech Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Nida Shalom, Malachi Shalom, Malachi Elyon, Melech Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Baruni Shalom, Malachi Shalom, Malachi Elyon, Melech Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Baruni Shalom, Malachi Shalom,
Malachi Elyon, Melech Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. B'Yitchem Shalom, Malachi Shalom, Malachi Elyon, Melech Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
B'Yitchem Shalom, Malachi Shalom, Malachi Elyon,
Melech Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. B'Yitchem Shalom, Malachi Shalom, Malachi Elyon, Melech Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Adonai Oz Le'amoitin, Adonai Yirach et Amav Bashalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Shalom.